hello to everyone
Okay.
who has come so far. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yes. So my name is pronounced Salia.
Salia. Okay. I want to make sure that I say that right. Okay, cool. So it's 2:00, almost 2:00 by you, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you've had a good morning.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited.
I know this is like one of my favorite drinks, and I've been using sound in so many of my cocktails, and people have been loving them. So
Thank
this
you
will be
so
really
much.
fun.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm obsessed with everything that you do. You create the most beautiful but like approachable
Yeah.
stuff, and we shared the one that we're creating tonight on our social today. So exciting. But it's so beautiful.
Yes.
I love the green in it. You don't like
Oh,
see that
thank you.
often, I find.
Yeah, I feel like when people see like a green drink, they think of like green juice, but this is like a better alternative, and it's like it has like all the feel good vibes. So it's perfect.
It totally does. It totally does. How did you just like, obviously that everyone can hear, that's here and tuning into the recording. How did you get started with doing
So
this?
I personally am not a big drinker,
Mhm.
but especially like during quarantine, we're stuck at home. Everyone's having, the quarantini. And
Yeah.
then once we've started to like feel a little bit safer, we would see our friends.
Mhm.
And I am the only one out of my friend group that doesn't drink. And so,
Mhm.
like whenever I would see them, it would be like, oh, just have like a hard kombucha. It's healthy. Or just have
Mm.
like a glass of wine. It's not that bad. And so, I
Yeah.
was drinking on a regular basis, and I hated the way that I was feeling. And plus,
Right.
I was working on trying to like heal my gut. And I know that
Mhm.
alcohol is just not in
Messes
alignment
with
with
your
that.
intestinal lining. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, I was at home one day, and I was just not feeling great. It's not, I wasn't hungover, but it's just like I could feel like my body was super dehydrated.
Mm.
I know that like it wasn't feeling good. It wasn't feeling as healthy as I wanted it to. And so I thought, like there has to be an alternative, and in my prior, careers, I've worked with a lot of like health and wellness, and I knew about herbs and adaptogens and how they can help benefit your body, short and long term. So short term, they help to decrease your stress, they help to boost your mood, they help to
Mhm.
open your heart and
Mhm.
help with cognition. But then long term, they help to regulate everything. They help to regulate your blood sugar, your stress, your hormones, and
Hormones,
all the
right?
good things.
Mhm.
And so that's when I started playing around with the idea of like, what if there is like a cocktail that's more herb focused to give you those benefits, but without the actual alcohol, where it has
Mhm.
like 40% alcohol or even 10% alcohol. That was just too much for me, and just
Yeah.
something that would actually make you feel good and actually
Mhm.
give those good benefits that you would want when you're drinking. Because at the end of the day, alcohol is a depressant. So you may
Mhm.
feel, you know, have that liquid courage momentarily, but
Right.
the way that it affects your hormones and your thoughts afterwards, you end up making decisions that you may not have wanted, or you just don't feel as
Mhm.
great about yourself. And so,
Right.
especially during everything going on, we need something to actually make us happy and feel good, and
Mhm.
just not get us in a very negative mental state.
Right. Totally. One that's going to support the positive vibes, and you're doing it in such a way that feels fun. I think
Mm-hmm.
like we've talked about before that it's so typically cocktails or mocktails are like, you know, club soda and lime, where
Yeah.
they're saturated in sugar. So I feel like you're doing something so exciting and different and fun. So congratulations on creating holistic cocktails.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like, a mocktail is so subpar. It's like a fancy juice basically, and it's loaded with
Mm-hmm.
sugar. And it's typically when you order it from a bar, it's just mixers, which is loaded with sugar, synthetic, flavors, and
Mm-hmm.
um, like
Mm-hmm.
dyes and all that stuff. And that's not what you want to be drinking.
No, right. You're like trying to get away from stuff that's not going to make you feel good. And then
Exactly.
oftentimes it's the things that are not going to make you feel good too. Well, I know we already kind of started the conversation. And again, all of this will be recorded. And I know people have already come in and have been listening to us. So welcome to everybody who has come in since. I think let's get started. I'm just going to open up my intro for you. So for everyone who doesn't know me, I'm Lauren. I'm a registered dietitian, holistic nutritionist, and the head of Nutrition at Sound. And I'm so excited to introduce Salia to you today. And she is a mixologist, and she's the mixologist between Holistic Cocktails, where she shares 0 to 1% low ABV cocktails that give similar effects to alcohol without the hangovers. Her cocktails are focused on gut and skin health and overall wellness, and they're the perfect beverage alternative that you'll love. So Salia was just giving us a little bit of the background on how she created Holistic Cocktails, and we're going to talk today about how much sugar is actually in the cocktails that you drink, what stuff to look out for, maybe some alternatives, and then she'll walk us through her cocktail for today. So welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. This is so exciting and such a good way to start off the year.
Totally. So, I mean, just to step back, because I know not everyone was in when you first mentioned this to me. What are you doing in Holistic Cocktails? Like, what is the goal with the herbs and whatnot?
So my goal with Holistic Cocktails is to give a healthier alternative to alcohol that, like you said, like without the hangovers. So, there are some of my tinctures that are alcohol based, but in the grand scheme of it, I think it's like 0.05%. So super, super low ABV. I think kombucha, like regular kombucha that you'd buy off the shelves, is that percentage or lower. And so with these cocktails, I want to boost your mood. I want to regulate your hormones. I want to, help with brain cognition and mental clarity and just make you feel happy. And I think that that's something that we all need.
Totally. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to just give a little bit of background as a dietitian on sugar and alcohol. So we know that alcohol, is often a sneaky source of sugar, just like a lot of other beverages like juices and sodas and our coffees that we get out at the store. So a mojito or a margarita can be anywhere from 10 to 25 grams of sugar. And that's like 6 teaspoons on the higher end, which is a lot. Frozen margaritas, of course, can be even more than that. There are, options to do skinny margaritas, skinny mojitos, things like that. But oftentimes alcohol is really a hidden source of sugar. And I know you and I spoke about even wines, right? Wines sometimes can have added sugar.
Yeah. So the thing about alcohol, for some reason, they don't list ingredients. And
Yeah.
a typical like wine or even like hard liquor, they don't list the ingredients, even though they have additives. So wine specifically, they add dyes, they add sugar, they add sulfites. And so when you're drinking a lot, typically that's why, you might feel a hangover or you just might not feel great, is because your body is dehydrated and then you're adding sugar on top of that. And so it's not a good mix.
Got it. And the ingredient, like you said, the ingredient labeling is not like required at this point. So are there certain things that you think of to look out for when, I know you talked a little bit to me about like simple syrups and stuff like that, when someone might be ordering a cocktail when it comes to sugar?
So going out, I would say like try to order something that doesn't have simple syrup, or just trying to get like fresh squeezed lime juice or lemon juice, or even like club soda or tonic water to help cut back. Because I know sometimes they use Sprite or 7-Up or things like that. And so it's a lot of sugar.
Right.
Even some of the juices or mixes. So for example, like a skinny margarita is just a margarita mix that is like skinny, but it has I believe it has like sugar alternatives in it, and so that doesn't do well for your body either. So just because something is labeled skinny doesn't mean that the ingredients are actually better for you. It's just it has like Splenda and things like that. And so it's just, you have to be careful. So it depends obviously on where you're going. Some of the higher end bars do have their own fresh pressed juices that they use. And so if you can kind of see it on their menu, they'll list it. And so you can kind of pick and choose from that. If they don't, then I would just go with like some, like I said, like fresh squeezed juice with some soda, or like, club soda or tonic water. And then just go from there. And it's like a way better alternative. You have something in your hand and it'll hydrate you too.
Yeah, I love that idea. And I think that you make such a good point that, the fresh squeezed juice, or even, I know we've talked about sometimes places will do blended fruit, which will be more of like a smoothie sort of consistency that they're adding. So then at least it will have some fiber. It won't be pure sugar. And you taught me that between the simple syrups and the concentrates that are often added, they can have these high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that in it without you even knowing.
Yeah, so even if you're at the grocery store and you buy juice, if it'll say from concentrate, stay away, because when they do that, they're pulling out the flavors of the juice, but the way that they pull it out or extract it, they actually lose the flavor of the fruit. And so they add in sugar to balance that sweetness and bring the flavor back. And so that's why it is typically really, really sweet or very high in sugar, is because they have to add it back in. And so if you can find companies that use 100% fruit juice, I think there's like a couple that I've listed on my site that I use, or even if you're in like the fridge section and you can use, and then it has like cold pressed fruit juice. So just always keep an eye out for like 100% juice and not from concentrate.
Love that. Thank you so much. Those are such good tips. So I'll let you kind of run the show from here and take us through your cocktail and highlighting, if you don't mind, some of the ingredient benefits along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to do a Silver Nude refresher. And so this is to help hydrate your cells, bring some electrolytes back, help to detox, but obviously give you all of the feel-good feelings. So it's a very simple cocktail. You only need 4 ingredients. So I have some honeydew melon. So honeydew is rich in fiber. It actually helps to regulate your blood sugar. And, it has like that kind of like hydration that you would need for your body. And then we also have cucumber. So this is about 5 ounces of honeydew. And then we have about 2 ounces of cucumber. So if you want it to be on the earthier side, but it would be loaded with chlorophyll, leave the skin on. If you want it to be more of like the cocktail feeling without it tasting like the grain juice, take the skin off. But this is key for detoxification because your body needs water to get everything moving and flowing. And so the more water that we add, especially with fiber, it helps flush everything out and it helps to rejuvenate your cells. Plus it's loaded with tons of vitamins and nutrients that your body loves. So we need these 2. And then we're actually going to blend and juice them, in which I've already done. And so it looks like this. And then our key ingredient is the ashwagandha. So the ashwagandha helps to boost your mood. It helps to regulate your stress levels. And for this one, I have an alcohol-based one, but this particular brand also has a glycerin-based one. So if you're doing absolutely no alcohol, there are alternatives for this. And
what is
so
that?
This is what
I can't see the.
So this is Herb Farm. So you can
Herb
find
Farm.
it at any health food store. So Whole Foods or Sprouts has them, or even like your local health food store should have them. And it'll be in the supplement section. And so these tinctures are some of my favorites to add to the drinks because it's such an easy way to bring them along with you. If you're going out to bars or restaurants, you can, stick these in your purse or in your pocket and like add a couple of drops in your mocktail. And it'll give you all the good benefits and help boost your mood and help decrease your stress, which is what we all want.
Does it have any added taste to it, or it doesn't have a flavor?
Nope. There's like hardly flavor. The only, I would say like if you were to just have it straight, then it would have a flavor. But by the time you add it to your drink, it's so diluted that you wouldn't taste anything.
Got it. Okay.
And then, of course, we have sound. So we are using the tangerine lemongrass green tea flavor. So because it has caffeine in it, it'll help boost your energy. You know, it's great for if you're talking with friends and wanting to converse and you kind of need that little pick me up to get you outside of your comfort zone and to talk to more people. So this is great. And then as a garnish, we have a cucumber and a little mint sprig. Okay, so I'm going to, okay.
Yeah, and I love the fruit, the honeydew and the cucumber that you chose, because those are, like you mentioned, such hydrating fruits and vegetables on their own. They have such high amount of water compared to others.
Yeah, so when all of your friends are dehydrated from drinking alcohol, you'll be extra hydrated instead. So like I said, all I did was blend these up and then run it through a strainer just to strain out the juice. And so I'm going to pour it in. And like I said, you can always make these ahead of time. So it's super easy. So have it in your glass. And then we're going to add just 1 dropper of the ashwagandha. And this is key to giving you all the good vibes. And then once that's in there, I'm going to top it with some ice. However much ice you like. And then we're going to top it off with sound. And I feel like especially with a cocktail, you like to have like the fizzes or just the bubbles to give it that like, you know, more adult flavor and taste.
It feels a little more exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like you're just drinking straight juice.
And if you didn't have the ashwagandha, you still like could kind of throw these two together and it would be delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
And you'd have the caffeine in here.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be great. And then we're just going to top it off with cucumber and mint. So very, very simple drink.
So pretty.
Pretty.
Thank you.
And it tastes really good too. And so like you can taste like how refreshing it is. And then also like your body will love you after this. It's going to help, you know, short and long term. So it gives you all the short-term benefits of like boosting your mood, making sure you're hydrated, and then also adding like some greens to your body. And then long term, it'll help to add electrolytes, hydration, help to detox your cells. So all the good things.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that, Salia. I mean, it's beautiful and feels doable. And I love, like we talked about a little bit before, that you put the honeydew and the cucumber together as in a blender as compared to juicing it, right? So then that at least, not at least, but that maintain the fiber in it. So not only are you getting the benefits of the, you know, vitamins that are in those fruits and vegetables, but you're also getting the fiber too.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, I feel like, you know, not everybody has access to, you know, a juicer. And so having a blender is something that we all have. And so it's super easy. And as long as you have, like I said, like a blender and a strainer, you're good to go.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. I'm going to give the audience an opportunity to ask any questions if they would like. On the bottom right, there is a Q&A section. And if you can't find that, then there's a chat box. Feel free to share them there. And just so everyone knows, thank you for attending. This will be recorded or is being recorded, and then the recording will be shared tomorrow. So you can go back and watch anytime. All right, we have a question. How do you get so creative when putting drinks together? Are there certain mixes that you put together, like one fruit, one vegetable? What's the best way to get a beginner started? I love that question.
Yeah, absolutely. So for that one, I actually depict my drinks based on how I want to feel. So based on how I want to feel, if I want to stay hydrated, if I want to be calm, if I want to be energized, depending on how I want to feel will help me depend on like where I get the drink started. So for example, if I want to feel more energized, pick something with caffeine or a nootropic will help with that. And then from there, I like to pick either like a fruit juice or a vegetable based on like how sweet or how savory. Because I know like people love like Bloody Marys and things like that too. But on the flip side, you know, you have like your brunch mimosas or, you know, all those sweeter drinks. And so picking that. And then I personally like to add bubbles. So, you know, anything like sparkling helps. But yeah, I would say that if you're starting to make your own like holistic cocktail bar, I would say having a mixer. So, you know, something to like help top off the drink just to elevate the feeling of the cocktail. So sound for me. And then having like a base. So that would be your fruit juice, your vegetable juice, or even like teas. I really like to add those as well because they don't have any sugars, and then you can kind of like pick. So I really like to use hibiscus tea because it has like a very strong flavor and it's beautiful.
I was going to say, and it has a beautiful color too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like good for your skin. So that's always a plus. And then adding in like a tincture or having like a base that already has some kind of herbal benefits to it. So for example, there are some drinks that already have like hemp extract in it that can help calm you. The tinctures that I use, some of the just things that can help like regulate your thoughts and your hormones. So whatever that is to you, I have like tons of information about the different herbs that can help. But yeah, I would say that it's not as complicated as it seems. You just have to start from somewhere. And then I have tons of recipes that are only like 3 ingredients on my site as well.
Yeah.
And then Sound has a lot of ingredient or recipes as well.
Yeah, I mean, from a lot of them from you, I mean, you create, again, the most beautiful, and it feels doable, you know, it feels beautiful and elevated, but also doable what you create. You mentioned tinctures and you mentioned your site. I know you have some other or a bunch of recipes on your site. Do you have a resource on your site as well of like maybe what tinctures do what sort of thing?
So I am creating a blog post right now, but I do have a blog post on that. But I currently have a blog post on how to build your own holistic bar, and it kind of gives you like a run through of like what each ingredient is for and like what you would use it for and how you would incorporate it. And so in there, I also talk about the tinctures and some of their benefits too.
Awesome. So on the recorded version of this, I'll just include your website so people can hop over there and see how to create their own holistic bar and get any tips on tinctures that you might add from now to then. But thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. This is so fun. And I'm excited to go back and watch this and create it at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you love it. And, you know, like I said, like it's a very easy drink to make. You can whip it up, you know, like really quickly, or you can prep it if you're having friends over. So I hope you enjoy it.
I love it for like the weekend brunch time get together. So it's a little caffeine, a little something different. I love it. Thank you so much, Salia.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and I'm so excited to see, you know, how people are dealing with like the cut sugar challenge and how their body feels afterwards.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of it, really. All right, everyone, have a wonderful night and see you soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.